In this, hopefully quick tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take an object that you've created either in Tinkercad or one that you've downloaded and export it so that it can be put into the right software that we use, which is called FlashPrint for the 3D printers. The FlashPrint software takes your object and it slices it. It's called a slicer into the different layers so that the printer can print each layer. So what you're going to do in Tinkercad is push on the export button. And I prefer the STL files. Most of them will work for the OBJ ones will work, but the STLs are better, I think. They come out better. So you're going to click on this file right here. And automatically you can see that as it downloaded, it already recognizes that it will need to open in FlashPrint. So you will open up, just click on it. It'll say this model is off the platform. Do you want to put it on the platform? And always just say yes. And it just automatically centers it for you. When you open FlashPrint for the first time, you might need to make sure that you are in the right layout. This is for all FlashForge printers. They use the same software, so you have to pick the right printer. So we have the FlashForge finders, but you're going to go to print, machine type, and make sure it's on Finder and not any of the other ones. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is see it already loads right in here. If I want to move it, I just pick it up and drag it around. When that wall turns red, that means that I'm outside of the printing area. So I can move it side to side. If I want to rotate it, I push rotate and it'll bring up these planes. They're labeled by color. You can see the Z, X, and the Y are all labeled by color. It makes it a lot easier to see. But let's say I want to print this at an angle, then I will just flip it and print it. Or if I want to print it just straight on, I can flip it and move it around all these different ways. Let's say I accidentally move something and I want it flat on the plane. If you go to rotate, just automatically go to surface to platform and hit reset and it'll work. If I want to rotate it, I can rotate by degrees here if you don't like the drag and drop. So I can push I could print it upside down, different angles that I want to print it. But if you mess it up and you don't like what you did, you can always push reset. I can scale this. It comes in at 100%, which is the size that you made it in Tinkercad. And it tells you the measurements. Everything is always in millimeters. So make sure that you are doing your measurements in millimeters. If I wanted to, let's say, make this couch taller, but not widen it or make it thicker, I would uncheck uniform scaling, and then I could change the Z axis to make it taller. And then I could take it to maximum and see what happens. Sometimes it gets too big. If you do uniform scaling, it should fix it. But if I don't like it, I'm just going to hit reset. All right. This is to cut. If you're doing like a complicated print that you need to slice into parts, you could start a cut and print it into different parts. I've never used this. I haven't needed to, but you may come across something that you need. All right. So for the purposes of showing you how to build supports, I'm going to rotate this so it is upside down. Oops, wrong one. You can see that it's upside down. So if I were to print this as it is right now, anything that prints right here will fall, because if you look at the bottom view, all of this is hollow and it will fall in. And I don't want that to happen. So I would do something called adding supports. So I'm going to come up here and click supports. And this program is really great and it auto supports. And as you can see, it built support so that when this prints, let's go back. I never save the supports to the file. I always add them each time I print it, but you can save it if you want. So now you can see from the bottom view, it added all of these supports. Obviously, it would be better to print this couch flat so that you didn't need supports, but just to show you how that works. And you can, in supports, you can do options and you can do the tree-like ones or linear ones. I'll show you the difference. So you can see the tree-like ones branch up at the top. They literally look like trees. And then let's clear those and then auto support. You can see the linear ones are lines. And again, don't save those. And then bottom view, so you can see it's all of these lines. I prefer the tree ones. They're easier to get off. They leave less of a mark. So that's what I would do, the tree-like ones. Oops, auto. All right. So when I'm done, I'm going to go back and reset my view so I can make sure it looks like I'm ready to go. So I am going to now click print. On this is going to give you some options. I usually print at standard. You could go higher or lower. Hyper tends to not work very well on these printers, so don't do that one. There are more options down here. You can change the infill percentage, so how much prints on the inside, how hollow it is, different stuff like that. Most of ours, I just stick with the standard, stick with what it has, and you'll probably get your best results. When I do the supports, I do like to enable my raft. The raft is a layer that's going to print at the beginning that is just like a solid flat piece. And when you pull that off, it usually pulls most of the supports off and it makes it easier to remove those supports. So then I'm going to click OK and I'm going to save it wherever you want to save it. I'll just save it for now in my pictures. And right here it is slicing it. And it's going to tell me when you're done how long it'll take to print. And then from here, you have it saved and you can load it onto a flash drive for us or send it to one of us and we will get it printed. Or if you want to see how to print it, come let us know and we'll show you how to do it. But hopefully that was a quick enough tutorial to help you understand what to do. If you still have questions, let me, Matt, Blake, or Chad know, and we will help you.